Hey everyone, I'm Madan Mohan. Welcome back to my free JavaScript video series. In this video, I'm going to explain loops in JavaScript. Whenever we want to run a code block for multiple times, that's where these loops will come into the picture. Let's say, for example, if you want to display numbers from 1 to 10, and at the same time, there has to be some condition. I mentioned number 1 to number 10. So once it has reached to 10, the loop should be stopped. In order to do that, there should be a condition. We have multiple ways in order to implement this. Let me start with for loop. Let a is a variable I'm declaring, and for I'm assigning a value here, a equals to 1, and second one is a condition a less than or equals to. If you observe this here, I have assigned a variable called a, and inside the for loop I mentioned a equals to 1. That means I have assigned the number 1 to a. Next one, I put a condition if a is less than or equals to 10. Why? Because I want to print from number 1 to number 10. So this is the condition. As long as this condition is true, whatever the statement that I'm going to write inside this for loop going to execute. If this turn out to be false, then the loop will get stopped. So you won't see the output after 10. In order to continue this looping process starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, after the condition increment a plus plus. I'm going to explain how it gonna work, and you should open the parenthesis inside which you need to write the statement which needs to be executed every time this condition is true. Okay, what's need to be executed? I want to display a value which is there inside a. Let me write console.log. I want a to be displayed. Alright, now how it works? First, I have declared a variable a for a equals to 1. Alright, and it will go to the second step. Now in the next step, it will check whatever the value which is there inside a is really less than or equals to 10 or not. 1 is less than or equals to 10. So this will go into the code block and check what is the statement inside it. Console.log is the statement, and it will get executed, and whatever the value there in a will get printed. Next step, it will go to the third one, and it is saying a plus plus. That means a equals to 1, right? It has been printed. 1 will get printed from the first step, and it will go here a plus plus. Plus plus, in a sense, it's an increment. It will increment by 1. So 1 plus 1 equals to 2. Now a will be 2. It will check the condition whether 2 is less than or equal to 10 or not. It's true, then it will go into this and 2 will get printed. And the same way, it will go here and 2 will be incremented by 1, that is equals to 3. 3 is less than or equals to 10. 3 will get printed. Similar way, it will loop around till 10. 10 is less than or equals to 10. 10 will get printed. Now then the next step, 10 will be incremented by one number, that will turn out to be 11. So 11 is not less than or equals to 10. So this loop will get stopped here. Alright, this is how number 1 to 10 numbers will get printed. If you wanna see, let me execute this. So let's refresh and go to the console in order to see the output. See this. Okay, 1 to 10 got printed. This is how these loops will help us. So far we have seen just assignment to a variable, and we just call the number. Manually we just added console.logs whenever we want to print the number inside the variable. Now you can see here it has been printed 10 times. If you don't have a concept called loops, we need to write this console.log statement for 10 times in order to print the numbers from 1 to 10. What if I want to print from 1 to 100? We need to write it for 100 times. What if it is more than that? So it is not feasible to go in that way. See, the first and basic point that you need to remember as a programmer, we should not duplicate the code. So with the minimal amount of code, we should suppose to get the output. Even though I required 10 or 100 or 1000, it doesn't matter. Number needs to be changed here. That's it. Those many times program will get executed. Let me show you. If I put 20 here, save, refresh, see this. This is the beauty of loops. Is for is the only way to implement the process? Not really. Along with for loop, we have while loop and do while loop as well. Now, if you want to implement the same with while loop, simply in place of for, we'll be using while, and inside which we need to add a condition a less than or equals to 10. Let me delete this. This time, by default, I'm going to assign a value here. Let a equals to 1, and while a is less than or equals to 10, if the condition is true, I'm going to write the console statement here, console.log and a. Alright, now what is happening? First, a will get assigned with number 1. If a is less than or equals to 10, then console will get executed. Alright, then how will it loop around? I should be incremented, right? So whatever the value that I have assigned to a is 1, right? 1 is less than or equals to 10. Console.log a, in a sense, 1 will get printed. After that, 1 needs to be 2, 2 needs to be 3. So there should be an increment operator that needs to be there just below this console statement. That is a plus plus. Similar to for loop here, first a value by default, the value of a is 1. It will get started with one number. 1 is less than equals to 10. It's true. Console statement will get executed. After that, a will be incremented by one number and it will check the condition here. As long as this condition is true, it will continue the process. Once the statement is false, then it will stop executing the code block inside the parenthesis. This is how it works. Let me save and see the output. Let me refresh. See this. Let me make it 5 so that you can see the difference. You can get the same output by making use of while also. So if you want to implement the same thing with do while, we can even do that. The difference between while and do while is if you use do while without checking a condition, code block inside the do statement will get executed definitely for the first time. Let me show you what I mean by that. Do, inside which we need to add a line of code which needs to be executed. This is the one. I want to print the console.log. I want to print a here. So if you can see this, after assigning a value to a, I am asking to print it. There is no condition here to check. That's the reason. So first time it will get executed for sure. After that, we need to add a condition here in the while loop. So it will check for the condition and it will go here. But in between these two, we need to add an increment operator, a plus plus. Now let's refresh and see the output. So this is how we can make use of loops in JavaScript in order to execute a block of code for multiple times. See you in the next video.